Hang on.
What? How? How did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't trust that. I want to like stop it and restart it.
We're just having such a good time over here.
What a great time.
Over here at Brian's house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian here has only seen a couple episodes of the DCAU.
Just a couple,
and
45
I've seen
of them.
A whole, not Brian, Brick or whatever. What's my name?
We passed 10,000 listens on the podcast on Anchor. I
Whoa.
forgot to mention.
Whoa.
That was pretty cool.
That's a lot.
Which doesn't include all the Podtower listens. So
yeah. Wow.
I don't know what roughly 200-ish times 45 is.
200 times 45.
900?
200 times 45?
9,000, I mean.
What'd you say? Yeah, like 8,000. I really can't math.
Yeah,
right
hi.
Now. That second
Maddie's
cup of tea
yelling
is still
at
steeping.
the thing. Yeah.
Good for you, Maddie.
We're going to start this episode of the podcast. What do you think?
What?
Should we do it? Should we do the podcast?
Oh, should we do the podcast?
That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wait, me or the listener? Have you got everything bagel stuff in your teeth?
I do. I got a little poppy
Me
seeds.
too.
Poppy seeds in my teeth. You got one right in the dead center
Oh,
top
do
tooth.
I?
Yeah.
I need a big knife to get it out.
All right.
This is.
I hear Scarlowi's got a knife. He's in Australia. Do we have any actual legit Australian listeners? Like, if you're not being a fake Australian, write in and tell us. You're not posing as an Australian.
This is, I think, single-handedly the weirdest start we've had to an episode.
It was very unnatural, yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of sauntered in from our prior conversation and just started.
We did.
And then you hit the record button with lightning speed and it stopped and started immediately. I don't know. Anyway,
a weird time. Hi, everyone.
We're watching Batman the Animated Series episode The Laughing Fish today.
I can't wait to laugh.
Or Fish.
I could wait to fish.
Or The.
I could the.
This is the 33rd episode produced.
Whoa.
And the 46th to air. Now, I will say, we have officially, to my definition of this that I'm arbitrarily making up.
Okay.
We have switched into season 2 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. How I'm
Can I
doing
make an
this.
assumption?
Okay.
They're going to change the intro.
No.
Oh. Okay.
We're going to change this song now. How I'm personally separating the seasons of this podcast. For one, we've passed the year mark of when we started putting out episodes of the podcast.
Are you serious?
Yes. And for two, we are now in January 10th, 1993. We skipped 46 days.
Oh my God.
So I'm counting like a season of this podcast as like a year of DCAU episodes airing. So.
Oh my God. And that takes us longer than a year.
And by like not a full year, I mean a calendar year. So we had our 1992 season, and now we're in our 1993 season.
And it takes us longer than a calendar year for us to do.
Yes. To do September, like 15th or something?
Through January.
January 10th, yeah.
Ending in November.
But just think of all of the Batman episodes that we've watched since around this time, like June-ish last year, was just almost every day from September through November of 1 year. And you're just a kid going, new episode
That's
every
a good
day.
point. Okay. Yeah, I get that.
So you didn't have any time to comprehend what's going on or
and
have
then you
opinions.
just had a whole lot of nothing. Mm-hmm. There was just like sounds of tumbleweeds.
46 days of sadness. Although we don't know if maybe there's...
Can you make that the subtitle for the
46 days of sadness? I haven't even watched the episode yet.
The Laughing Fish, or 46 Days of Sadness.
50. There was a joke a couple episodes ago.
Remember, guys, when I said 50 a lot?
This episode was written by Paul Dini,
Hey!
who wrote the story for Pretty Poison and everything written for Heart of Ice, Joker's Favor, Mad as a Hatter, Almost Got Him, and Joker's Wild. So far, kind of a mix of okay, bad, and good episodes.
Yeah.
Emmy Award winning and also Mad as a Hatter. Directed by Bruce Timm.
Okay.
Who also directed Heart of Ice that Paul Dini wrote. Music by Shirley Walker, the main title theme arranger, who is the supervising composer on every single episode of the show.
Oh.
So, like, if her name's not credited for composing the music, she's still in charge of the music composers, so she's there every episode. And animation by Dong Yang. Joker's Favor, Nothing to Fear, Appointment in Crime Alley, Eternal Youth, Two-Face Part 2, I've Got Batman in My Basement, The Forgotten, The Cape and Cowl Conspiracy, Perchance to Dream, Night of the Ninja, Twiger, Almost Got Him, Terror in the Sky, and His Silicone Soul.
A.K.A. Beatles, Silicone Rubber Soul.
Beatles. Thanks, Super Luigi 64. Great meme on the tweeters. I did like it. We liked it. Yeah. So Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Shirley Walker, Dong Yang. I feel like that's a pretty good combination. Yeah.
You know, I'm already feeling like this is probably going to be a pretty good episode. Mm-hmm. And I have another reason to think that.
Why is that, Brian? Do tell.
Because we have with us in the studio. Not in the studio.
No.
KeenMachine
will
be with us in about 40 minutes.
Yeah. I will message him on Instagram as soon as we're done watching the episode and be like, come on in, baby.
Yeah, we're realizing, again, we're still ironing things out. Mm-hmm. We think the sound is going to be a million times better.
Sure. At least Brian and I.
Yeah.
But hopefully KeenMachine as well.
But, when we get guest listeners, I feel like, again, with the timing and
it timed out to where we were going to be in person, and KeenMachine had specifically requested the Laughing Fish a few weeks ago. So
yeah,
it worked out.
It worked out great.
And we don't work out.
I work, not as much since my injuries.
I haven't worked out since pre-baby, so.
It shows.
I know.
You really got to lose your baby weight.
I got to stop eating so many bagels. I'm about to eat another bagel while we watch this episode. Hell yeah, I am.
I think I'm not going to double down on bagels.
No. I had 3 dinners last night.
2 bagels this morning.
And I'm going to have 2 bagels today.
Why not?
Why not?
Do you want to go watch the Laughing Fish?
Let's do that, okay.
Well, he's not out to poison people. This diluted toxin only affects fish.
Maybe he's trying to make us all die from disgust.
Joyful and jolly Joker-fish.
Say, Mom, wondering what to feed the family tonight?
What'll I feed the family tonight?
Arr, try me famous Joker-fish. They're smiling smelt, giggling grouper, and happy haddock.
This could cause a stampede to pork.
Yummy, yum, yum. Eat it.
Mr. J, I have this little problem with fish. Yummy, yum, yum.
Yes, friends, that's Joker-fish. Tasty, tempting, and of course,
naturally low in cholesterol.
Coming to your local store just as soon as that nasty old Mr. G. Carl Francis decides to give me my legal cut of the profits.
Change the channel.
It's on every station.
Get a trace on that signal, now.
I hope you've changed your mind, Mr. Francis, because I haven't changed mine.
Greetings, listener. We are here with our favorite listener and the only listener that is ever allowed to be on the podcast from now on. It's KeenMachine. I'm pressing the applause button, but you can't hear it.
Greetings, dear listener.
Yeah.
So first, I want to know why Laughing Fish. Why was that one that you requested? I mean, it was a good episode. I think we probably both agree. But
yeah.
What specifically, you're like, I want that one.
I think part of it is because it's one I've seen the most. I had the VHS double feature tape of the Christmas with the Joker and the Laughing Fish episode. So I watched those countless times.
Yeah.
Countless times I watched it. And then I think it's just a really good, timeless Batman story. It's not specific to one particular time period. It doesn't feel dated. It's just a classic, and it's a great Joker episode.
Versus the virtual reality Riddler episode we just watched right before that. That was the opposite of undated. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it had a decent level of prediction, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, we didn't rate What Is Reality very high before coming on for this one.
Spoiler for you, not
Yeah.
spoiler for anybody else.
For like 3 weeks from now.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christmas with the Joker and this episode being back to back on a tape, that's got to be quite the, like, as a kid, I'm sure you don't notice much of a difference between quality of episodes, but to me, I think that would be, at least watching them right now, if we watch them back to back, would be like I guess Christmas with the Joker happened, and Laughing Fish, all right, pretty okay. Like, I don't know what we hated on Christmas with the Joker a lot more than I expected us to with Dylan Pollock, but it just, I don't know, it didn't stand the test of time to me for some reason. But
I mean, these things happen.
Yeah.
It just is we have appreciations as we have them, and then that's the end of it.
Now, I think when we had Dylan on, we had him give us the synopsis.
Yes.
And then,
yes.
Would you like to give us what happened in the Laughing Fish KeenMachine?
Sure, yeah. So we start out, and it's dark, and it's stormy, because it's Gotham City, and it's always dark and stormy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see some fishermen pulling in their fish, and when they look at them, they're like, oh my god, it's disgusting, it's smiling.
Yeah, it has teeth for some reason.
Yes, yeah, interesting side effect of the Joker toxin. Yeah, and then we go from there, and Batman says, he's made his move, and then the city just goes into full crisis mode, and, it's on the news, it's in the newspaper, everyone's freaking out because the Joker is doing something, and which is really, really interesting, like how much of a captivation he has of like the city, like just like the fact that the Joker is like around, like, and doing anything, like, puts the whole city on like this like emergency level.
Even though
so I think that's cool.
The copyright guy was like, this Mr. Joker? Like, he doesn't quite know what it is. How do you say this word?
Is it
Jocker?
Yocker?
Was it Yocker? The famous Yocker? Yopper?
Nice.
Batman starts to investigate, realizes pretty quickly that the toxin does not affect people, at least the version that's been released in the water. And then from there, it's the Joker, threatening people if he doesn't get a copyright on a natural resource, a fish. And he manages to not kill ? 2 people.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's a chase in the aquarium, and then Batman smacks him around a little bit, and then Joker ? Dies. So there's a lot of question marks.
It's almost a Riddler episode.
If we're not a Riddler
Yes.
episode.
Wait, you bring up a really good point in your synopsis, and good job on the synopsis, by the way.
Applause button.
I am so bad at those. But I just realized I never quite figured out why the fish were smiley and make-upped. Like, was it like he released a toxin in the water and now all fish are just going to be dead? Is it a localized thing? Like, what happened there?
Yeah.
I think we just assumed that he like poured a bunch of chemicals in the ocean and affected all the
his taco barge
fish.
tipped over into the and all the taco juices flowed into the river.
Wow, is taco like a nickname for toxin? It was a toxin barge the whole time, and we didn't know.
Yeah, the whole like the visual of the fish has never made sense to me, because fish probably don't even have the like smiling muscles, and they definitely don't have teeth. And
some fish have teeth.
Well, yeah, but these were the ones that they said, "The hell is that? Your roof is leaking. Your roof is crumbling."
It's almost certainly a squirrel dropping a walnut.
Oh my god!
There you go.
I heard that one.
Yeah, that was really loud.
We live in nature here in Big Bus.
We're in a tree right now. We're inside of a tree. But the makeup type stuff on the fish has never made sense. Like, why do they have like lipstick and green eyeshadow and whatever, green hair? fin hair. But I don't know. I guess it's just a side effect. He's really good. Joker has just invented a bunch of stuff so far in this show.
Yeah.
He's just been an expert chemist and engineer and all this stuff. So I guess.
I mean,
and and I forgot to say he takes over the TV airwaves again. So
yes, he does.
There you go.
All of them.
Yeah,
all on
every
one
channel.
channel.
Again. Yeah.
And with no lapse either.
No.
Like as he changes the channel, it just stays like basically one continuous image, even though there's a little bit of like static-ish.
I'll read you the official synopsis.
Oh yeah, that's a thing we do.
This is another short one. I don't know if you want the guitar for this one or not, but Brian, you could do the bass. Do the bass.
We're not going to hear the bass.
Well, not with that attitude. I don't know. Try anything. He's got a wall of guitars here.
Do you want some funk? It's just...
That's no good. That's no good at all. Just don't do anything. Stop. The Joker has developed a chemical which induces Joker smiles on fish. He makes a visit to the Gotham copyright offices, demanding a copyright for his Joker fish. When the frightened bureaucrats tell him that such a copyright is impossible, he threatens to kill them one by one until he gets what he wants. Fortunately for the city employees, Batman comes to their rescue and tracks the Joker to an old seaquarium, whatever that is, where he defeats the grinning villain in a dramatic battle involving a great white shark.
They said seaquarium?
Seaquarium. An old seaquarium.
As opposed to a land aquarium, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever been to New York? Go to the famous Central Park Land Aquarium?
Yes.
It's the SeaWorld Aquarium. They just combined.
But it doesn't
words.
say, it said aquarium in the episode, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, like Oceanside.
Yeah.
That's the name of it. Yeah.
Why did they say seaquarium? They like just decided like, oh, time to make up a word. Seaquarium, go.
Unless it was just a typo, like half of these have in them.
That's fair. Okay.
I really liked the animation in this episode, I will say. There was a lot of very on-model character stuff going on, and there's a lot of like artsy shots of Batman in shadow with rim lights and stuff like that. There's the famous screenshot of him like in the Batmobile with the whizzing background as he's just staring, and he's like a painting. There's a guy peeing in the background is what I'm saying. And the whizzing background. And him coming down through the ceiling window, lightning flashing and stuff, and you're like, ooh, I like this shot.
Yeah, that was cool. It was very I can't think of, maybe it was like
Fantasia-ly.
Oh, we did talk about how it was very much like a Fantasia look of up in the mountain, whatever. What is that?
Night on Bald Mountain.
Night on is that what it's called?
Up on the mountain, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very Fantasia scene.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of like pretty cinematic stuff in this episode, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
Yeah. We get to see Batman in shadow work a lot, which is nice. Yeah. I really like that. Yeah. You know, we see him like in the beginning a little bit, and then he's a lot of the aquarium scene is him like in the black
Seaquarium.
Shadow. The Seaquarium. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, and then at the second bureaucrat's house, like with the window behind him, there's just a lot of nice shadow work that's really cool.
I forgot that was the bait and switch of the scene, was that it's not actually Batman, it's the guy in the Batman costume. Because I was gonna call out that you hear Batman shout like, he's got a Joker fish or whatever, the cat, but his mouth doesn't move. But then when it's revealed that it's because he didn't actually say that or whatever. And I hope that was a purposeful thing and not just like actually an animation error that we can say was on purpose or whatever. But then
I had never noticed that before. Yeah. And then the last time I watched it, I picked up on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And when he starts laughing, the guy dressed as Batman starts laughing, and he's like way more portly than Batman. And your first reaction is to just be like, what the hell is this? Like the animation was pretty good until like, why does Batman look like that? And then, it's not him.
He had too much of that raw Joker cheeseburger bag meat. Hamburger bag meat?
Bloody Joker meat.
Bloody Joker meat.
I don't want that to be the name of the podcast episode, but I think it is.
Oh God, no! I think we had a thing we said in the intro.
I don't remember. That was years ago.
That was months anyway. Maybe Keen's gonna come up with a subtitle for us.
Yeah, right now. No pressure. Yeah.
All the pressure. No, you gotta let it come naturally. But
Harley Quinn, good in this episode as well. There was a lot of good Paul Dini-ish writing. You caught alliteration a couple of times.
There was a lot of alliteration.
Even Bullock had alliteration, and
Bullock
he's a stupid idiot.
like a madman. But he was very competent.
Yeah.
He was just like, I know where he is. I'm going to the Seaquarium.
Yeah, it didn't take me a back computer to figure this out, you moron. And Batman's like, oh, I'm stupid. Like Batman driving up on the Batmobile sets off some sort of Joker theme song alarm that then Joker alerts his guards with a whoopee cushion. But Bullock just walking in with a gun set off nothing.
Well, he's just better at his job than Batman.
He walked all the way there from the police headquarters.
How big is
That's true. We don't see a car. You never see a police car there. So
yeah.
I think that's canon.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to, speaking of canon things, maybe one of you two know, there's a scene of the Batmobile coming into like the Batcave before they do like the fish dissection scene. The car, and this is me as like someone who's kind of obsessed with, big muscly cars sometimes.
Well, you got us beat probably.
It was a past life, okay? The thing sounds like a drag car, like one of those, like, the rail drag, the skinny things with the big wheels in the back and the huge engines.
It was a lot beefier.
The Batmobile sounds really beefy, like rolling in there, which is like all well and good, but isn't it jet powered?
I don't know.
There's like a turbine on the Batmobile that shoots out fire.
It's powered by bats. Running on little treadmills inside. Little hamster wheels with bats in them.
That's a great means of locomotion, especially when you need to quickly get away from RC cars.
And it's actually just Batman with a exterior microphone speaker going but because we all know it's little bats. That's the canon.
You just got to be intimidating.
Music in this. I didn't notice anything specifically good or bad about the music. It was just there.
It was musically.
It sure was. The original name for TikTok.
Musically. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. That was like when it first dropped, it was called like music.ally or something like that. Yeah.
I'm too old for this. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I remember that.
Yeah.
They used to have all the mobile ads all the time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And all the celebs would do their dank dubs of songs. It was hilarious.
I think it's time for this old man to leave the chat. Take care, y'all.
That's get out of here.
Yeah, I'm going. Anyway, we're going somewhere with that. Music. Shirley Walker did the music.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was good, but
Shirley
it didn't stand
Walker
out.
did the music.
Yeah, Walker, the famous composer.
And call her Shirley.
You.
That's her name.
There's a terrible joke in there, and I'm not sure I know how to make it.
It was that we finished it. It's
done.
Good.
Yeah. Great. Are we done?
What's your favorite part of this episode, KeenMachine?
Oh, I mean, the easy answer is to say that it's like Mark Hamill's performance.
Yeah.
As the Joker. That's like the easy answer, though.
What's the hard answer?
I'm trying to like scene wise. I think I really like the twist at the second bureaucrats a house there with the switch that you had mentioned. I think that's a nice touch because it's not necessarily needed, but it just makes a nice little extra layer there instead of just being like, now we're at the second guy's house and the same thing's gonna happen.
The second guy looks a lot like the first guy also. Just different clothes and no glasses.
They're similar.
I think they're voiced by the same guy too.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Mark Hamill's performance. I think this is the first time that we really get to see him kind of like fit into the character and really like make it his own. And I mean, there's like a million different laughs in this one and they're all good. So
yeah, I really like the shot. Brian, you seem to have a problem with it. Maybe I'm wrong. With just Joker watching the shark and Batman like tumble around in the water, but you don't see what's happening. You just see Joker going like, oh. I really like that part because it's just you just like he has a lot more personality in this than before. He's no longer dubbing Tim Curry episodes, and he's no longer like that's been over with for a little bit. But he's also he's sort of found like his version of the Joker, I think. And I think that like because we pointed out in the intro to the podcast here that written by Paul Dini, directed by Bruce Timm, music by Shirley Walker, animation by Dong Yang. Like, it's like the perfect grouping of things, like, to make the best thing ever. And I think that was like part of it was like, okay, the Joker finally feels like Mark Hamill Joker, and also his relationship with Harley Quinn was a lot more what I expected it to be in this. Before, she's just kind of hanging around, and now she's finally being like sort of abused by him. Hey, put this fish hat on and fuck you and all this stuff all the time.
I think it's also the first time she calls him Puddin'.
Yes. Yeah, that was in Tribs.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. You caught that, and you caught the Home Improvement tool.
I did. I caught that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Can't sneak anything by me.
Yeah.
That's not true. You can sneak almost everything by me.
Is this only the second time that you've seen Harley Quinn? I'm trying to think now.
No,
Brian.
she was in Joker's Favorite, Almost Got Him, and now this.
Almost Got Him. That's right. Okay.
But she's not been very prevalent. This seemed like the most substantial. Is that the right word? Her appearance or acting, whatever you want to say.
Yeah. Everyone plays off each other really well in this. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed about just like on the animation side of Harley Quinn is I didn't realize before that the balls on her jester hat used to be red, and then like later that changes and they're white.
Yeah, I hadn't
realized that.
I was noticing that this time too. Was that they're I think they're both red, even though I expected maybe them to be like the opposite colors of the actual like pigtail thing that they're attached to. But then in the next series after this and forward, they're both white. It's a very small, unnoticeable change, really, but we both noticed it, so clearly it's not unnoticeable.
Good job, you two.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I like
Thank
that.
you.
More of Joker facial expressions in this were really good too. Like him stumbling out onto the roof, and he has a big like eyebrow whenever Batman creeps up. And he grabs the wrench. Yeah, you talked over his hilarious. Meanwhile, back at the wrench as he's about to hit Batman.
Shoot!
I know, it was the best joke.
We got to stop talking over these things.
Just stop talking ever.
We'll just do
talk.
a very like French audience thing, and we'll just sit in silence and then react afterwards.
I'll tell you the cast. We got Kevin Conroy as Batman. What did you expect? Bob Hastings as
Commissioner Gordon.
Robert you can't hear this, so I'm singing it for Now he's credited as Rocco.
What?
Robert Costanzo as Rocco. That's all that he's credited as.
Rocco?
Is that one of the thugs? Is it a police officer? Who knows? Is that a fisherman at the start?
What's Bullock's first name?
Harvey. I had to second guess it for a
Yeah,
second.
I was like, oh yeah.
Joker.
Harvey Bullock.
He's obviously Harvey Bullock, but
that's probably a miss.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Did he play Rocco?
Yeah.
He did not.
Remember every time when Joker's hoisting him up on the thing and he's going, Spunky! And then, you don't remember that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm too old to remember.
Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. George Zunza as G. Carl Francis.
Oh, the guy behind the desk.
Yes. And also, I believe, the second guy, whatever his name was, other guy. He played Sergeant Max Greevy on 22 episodes of Law and Order.
Awesome.
He will be back several times as other characters in the DCAU, but and much more prevalent than G. Carl Francis. But other than that, like, I didn't notice anything interesting on his IMDb. But his first acting job is credited as Mr. Creepy in Massage Parlor Murders, 1973. So I just had to write that down.
Hold on, I got to put that on my watch list.
Yeah.
Massage Parlor Murders.
Massage Parlor Murders.
Oh, hey, it's G. Carl Francis as Mr. Creepy. Mark Hamill as the Joker, Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn, of course. What are you doing?
I got such a weird slouch on today.
Slouch on? I
don't
want to hear about this. We have a guest, Brian.
I'm sorry.
Let's talk about your slouch on.
We do have to get those like nice podcaster boom microphone stands.
Yes, we do.
And also, you need to remember yours.
Yeah, I know. You can see mine is attached to the desk with two different like bracket brace. I don't know what you call these.
Quick clamps.
There you go. Sure. old man, tools. Are you Tim Allen?
Let me tell you about my tool collection.
Is it a Binford tool collection?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got a decent amount of tribs, so I'll start them out, and this may spawn other discussions. Batman deduces that the toxin affects only fish, but in a later scene, Thomas Jackson, that's a cat, is clearly seen to have been infected by the same toxin, and Jackson himself is infected when his cat subsequently scratches him. However, it is possible the Joker used a different toxin for them.
Wow. I had a really blind spot earlier, and I just realized it. That the Jackson.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had some bandwidth.
I had also a stroke just now.
That Jackson was dressed as Batman.
Yes.
And somebody else was sitting in the chair playing Jackson.
Batman was.
What?
They were swapped.
I swear I just saw like old man sitting in chair. My brain completely filled that in incorrectly.
Batman was wearing one of his classic perfect reproduction of a human head masks.
Oh God, why did they just put somebody else in the chair?
No,
because he thought he would. Oh God. Okay.
They knew the cat would come in somehow. Anyway, what that reminded me of was we recently saw this. I don't remember if this was something we shared on Twitter or not, or if you're even on Twitter. But there was a scene from this where the cat gets like sedated by the police that was posted around as like a Russian dub of this moment, and it's just like it just says like you know what sounds a cat makes, right? And the voice actor going like, of course, and then it shows the clip and it's just him going like and stuff. Like it's very not cat-like. And I forgot that was in this episode, so when it happened I was making the Russian dub sounds as
I was really pleased that you showed me that before, because otherwise you would have been another one of those, I got to show you this thing, or I'll tell you this thing later. Nice.
Few toothed fish have the large, flat teeth required to make the Joker smile. The fish that Joker mentioned, such as smelt and tuna, are not among these fish, and therefore the toxin should not have worked on them. The toxin is a fictional toxin. I'm just going to let it slide. I don't really care about any of that.
But wait, I mean, like, are they suggesting that because of the teeth that those fish specifically had, that they
otherwise
would be affected?
Otherwise, it'd just be this gummy smile, and it'd be so dumb look. You wouldn't look like the Joker at all.
But the way that was worded made it sound that it was like because of their teeth they were affected.
Yeah, only teethed animals can smile with Joker toxin.
Okay, we got this.
The fishermen are like, it looks just like the Joker. No, that looks like a fish. I don't know if you've seen the Joker before, but anyone smiling to that fisherman looks like the Joker, I guess.
Wow, that guy's got an interesting life.
This episode was based on the comic stories, several comic stories. The Joker's Five-Way Revenge, Batman number 251, September 1973. By Denny O'Neil, and The Laughing Fish and Sign of the Joker, Detective Comics number 475/476, February and March of 1978, by Steve Englehart. It is also reminiscent of the Joker's first ever caper in Batman number 1, published in March 1940. Joker announces on the radio that he plans to kill a millionaire and steal a priceless diamond from the man's house. The police set up a protective ring around the millionaire, only to be baffled as the man drops dead right in front of them. Batman discovers that the Joker had broken in the night before, injecting the sleeping millionaire with a slow-acting version of his Joker toxin, and stolen the diamond, replacing it with a fake.
Oh, in the good old days when you could just kill people in comic books.
Like Batman does that a lot in the early comics, too.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, he just has a gun and he just kills people.
Oh! Okay.
Oh!
At what point was he like, nobody can die on my watch?
I don't know, actually. I don't know when the first, no guns, no killing thing started, but...
Okay.
Yeah. Maddie's been reading through some of those super early Batman and Superman comics, and they're very interesting. I'll just say that.
Okay.
Unlike what you would expect.
Yeah, they were showing me
I've taken a life.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
That's okay. I'll do it again.
Yeah, Maddie was showing me some clips, I think, from like some very like Nazi Superman, but it was
stuff,
like kind of like satirical, I think. That was a while ago.
Yeah, it was. The whole thing in the episode of like Harley Quinn sprays Francis with perfume, it looks like, and then they have to shoot a rocket propelled swordfish through the window that farts out the rest of the gas, and then the mixture of those two things is what makes him laugh and die.
Right.
Whereas, like, slight spoilers, in the future, Joker will just go like psst with his flower and someone will like immediately. So he just decided, like, that was way too complicated to shoot a swordfish through a wall. I think I'll just put it in my flower instead.
But that's also something from 89 Batman, right? Doesn't he have a squirty flower?
Yeah,
that
just makes that happen, yeah.
Yeah, love it.
It's pretty graphic in this episode, though. Like,
his
the
eyes
effect.
are bulging out, yeah.
I'm surprised what they were able to get away with, because, like, I just remember, like, as a kid seeing it, you know, and it's, like, haunting. Like,
yeah.
Especially that first time. You have no idea what you're, like, about to see, and then it's just like, oh.
Yeah,
that is much more graphic than I expected.
Very dramatic, like 3D shot from the POV of the swordfish coming through the wall. And then, then when he freaks out, his eyes are all bulging out, his face is stretching and turning yellow and stuff. And then there were several other things in the episode that I thought, like, how did you get away with that? Batman has, like, a sliced open fish on his, like, you can see the bones and everything on his desk. And then when they're handling the pile of bloody meat and there's just blood dripping off of it and flowing through the water and stuff, I just kept thinking, like, these must, maybe because they're not people. Well, G. Carl Francis is a people, I guess, but the blood and the split open fish are not humans. It's fine. Like, I don't know. They couldn't have done that with, like, if they were dissecting a cat. Like, Batman had those cats in the Batcave that he's like, let me test the scarecrow toxin on or whatever. And then, but let me dissect this cat and leave it split open on the table. They wouldn't have been able to do that, I don't think. I don't know.
Just give it time. It'll happen.
There'll be a split.
Coming up next on Batman, the episode Batman Dissects a Cat.
Oh.
What is it about?
That's the next episode, actually. It is revealed that Bullock knows the existence of the Bat computer, but how he learned of it exactly is unrevealed.
Oh, it's another one of those.
The Batcave thing, yeah.
It was like Jordan. No. Yes? No. Sherbet.
Yeah, Sherbet.
Sherbet. Yeah, I blame him.
Roberta, yeah.
He just leaked it, didn't he?
Yeah. Mr. Police. Well, they were doing like police work at the end of the episode. They had called the actual police, been like, "Hey, can we download the Bat computer files?" And Bullock goes, so there's that Bat computer, huh? Spunky.
We have proven that Bullock is one hell of a detective.
Yeah. He was somehow really good in this episode at finding the Joker's hideout and like he was just mad at, why do we have to have this fucking Batman here the whole time?
He just went east, I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't get that one
yet.
How do we do?
Well, yeah, in the off.
Wait. I'll retroactively laugh here, so it'll fit continuity-wise.
I get the reference.
That's me getting the joke. Yep.
Okay, cool. Now I don't need to explain it. You'll find out later. Do you think maybe Bullock knew the Bat computer? He didn't actually know the Bat computer. He just guessed, like, Batman. If Batman has a computer, surely Walker, and it would just put a bat in front of it because that's what everything is called. Batmobile, Batman, etc. Bat mustache stuck in a wall, etc. That's another one.
I don't know. I don't know if. I don't know why it just sounds like a plot hole.
You noticed this. This is one of only 3 episodes with no title card.
Yeah!
So that just had way too long of a shot of the swinging fish sign, and then the title came up, stayed there forever, and then we saw really fast waves going that I thought was a sign of like, oh, this episode's animation's going to be bad. Why are the waves so fast?
Did you
it's like a tsunami going on.
But it was kind of a sideways tsunami. Like they had the classic waveforms, but they weren't going like front to back. They were going sideways.
And over real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always sad that there's not a title card for this one. It's like, I think like the biggest flaw of this episode is that there's no title card, just because I think it would have been a really cool one.
Yeah, what would you have had for the painting? What would you think?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I know there's a lot of like people that have gone out and made their own like title cards, or like posters, if you will, for this episode. Really? I think anything. They're really cool.
The album artwork for the soundtrack is like a painting of Joker in the fisherman costume, holding a fish, and it's both their smiling profiles. That one looks pretty cool.
I do like that one. I think that would have been a really cool title card. Something with the fish, obviously.
I feel like the just a fish on like a dark background with the smile is probably the cliche answer. But like it also just would absolutely work.
Do it like Joker's Wild, where it's just the Joker's face smiling and doesn't help you at all with what the episode's going to be about.
That's fair. What if it's just a still of those sideways moving tsunami waves?
Yes.
Laughing fish. Ooh. And then it opens on the shot of those waves immediately.
Ooh, what about, if you really want to like throw a loop, how about the cat with the fish in its mouth?
That would be a good one.
I think it would be a Catwoman episode.
Yeah. It just keeps you guessing. You don't know.
They didn't have Catwoman come in and try to say that cat's life was in danger and what a horrible people for injecting the cat and blah, blah, blah. Where was she? What the hell?
She wasn't in Gotham.
Remember, the judge told her, if she dresses up like Catwoman again, I'll throw the book at you. And then she does it immediately. And there's so many nuts on the ceiling. Shut up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, KeenMachine.
Do you want me to go? Let me go see if I can do something about that.
Are you really? Are you going to shake the tree?
No, I'll just...
So this is the part where I take over the podcast.
Yes.
Brian, yes.
The Joker. This is continuing the tribs.
Oh,
the Joker
let's do some
is in this
tribs.
episode.
Yes,
the Joker
wow.
takes a wrench from a toolbox labeled Binford Tools, as you
Yes.
notice, a reference to the fictional tool company of home improvement. Although the label is partially obscured off the side of the screen, it's clear enough that what it was read to be.
Doesn't it just fully say it?
It says like Binford or something, like you can barely see part of the R or something like that. I don't remember.
Oh, I didn't think there was like any obscuring at all.
He also mentions Happy Meals. So who said Happy? Was it Joker?
Yeah. He was talking about like putting the poison in the meat.
Yeah, yeah, like with Joker cows or whatever he said, Joker beef or something. I can't remember.
Joker burgers.
There you go. That's what it was. I'm ashamed. I didn't remember the line.
Well, yeah. So that was my question. It was like, is that a copyright thing? Like I know Happy Meals is
this episode's all about copyrights, Brian.
But that's true. Oh my God! Wait a minute. We found the secret meeting. Yeah. Did I say meeting? Meaning.
You were thinking of meat. You had that looks
meat
so
on the
good.
brain. The vegetarian over here is just really craving some meat.
It looked so delicious. Those Joker burgers.
But I realized that McDonald's had a lot of like Batman toys and stuff in the Happy Meals. So there's probably like. They're probably old friends who said, "Hey, can we say Happy Meals?"
I'm sure of all things, McDonald's would have like almost asked them to do that. Like, yes, please mention Happy Meals. And yeah, I think I told you about the Robin, like so and so's been spotted at the Gotham McDonald's or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Classic.
That was such a like buried memory like that I had, and then when you said that, and I was like, I have to watch that commercial because it was before my time, but I remember seeing it on like old recordings of things, and I like went back and found it and was like, yep, that's the Gotham McDonald's.
That commercial, and then there was also like the year before Batman the Animated Series started, there was there were animated Batman. It was like AT&T or something phone commercials, but obviously not in the cartoon's art style. It's much more like detailed comic book looking character designs. And I'm pretty sure those were both animated by the Canadian the Canadian company that originally animated the title sequence that we were talking about while we were watching. You were asking who animated the title sequence. I think I am now remembering is that McDonald's commercial and this pre-BTAS animated Batman phone commercial were both animated by a Canadian animation company that originally animated the title sequence without silhouettes, like with full character designs. And then
did you know about this?
No, I did not.
Bruce Timm is like, no. So I drew silhouettes in the storyboards. I wanted it to be silhouettes. Like they just thought he was doing a shorthand for the characters or something. And then I think it's Tokyo Movie Shinsha TMS that did the actual intro. I think that's right.
Okay.
If someone knows that, and I'm wrong about part of this, comment below. But I think that's all correct. Anyway,
that'd be so frustrating. Oh my gosh, if you like detailed made this entire intro, and then they were like, actually, we just want it more black.
That's what I drew. Actually, is what I want. Yeah.
I know. I feel like that's just a communication breakdown there. It's just like, okay, so we got these characters here, and this is what they look like.
Well, we're on the subject. When we get to Superman the Animated Series, they also did a specific Batman and Superman intro for when Kids WB would air Batman and Superman episodes back to back. And there's a whole sequence of storyboards for a much longer, much more detailed version of that intro that you can see in I think it's in Bruce Timm's Modern Masters art book. And it's just like really cool stuff. All the characters interacting and leaping off buildings and doing cool poses and stuff. And you just didn't. It never got made. Like, damn it, man! I want this.
Wait, and aside from the aside, you say BTAS.
Yes.
For Batman the Animated Series.
Yes.
Superman the Animated Series.
STAS.
Okay, not Stas.
I believe we already had this conversation.
I feel like we have, but I didn't know the answer, so I had to ask.
Well, and I say BTAS now. I used to just say BTAS, but it's easier to say BTAS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the same. I used to say, always in my mind, it was BTAS, and then finally, like, I heard other people say BTAS on videos and your videos and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, and then it's shorter.
I helped you. You're welcome.
Yep.
Bruce Timm, I'm pretty sure, says BTOS, and I'm always like, it's not Batman the Animated Series. Yeah, what are you talking
it's
about?
It's BTOS.
There's an apostrophe after the B. Yeah.
I kind of want, what if it's just like BT as?
BTS.
Batman the series?
No.
Actually, there's another little fun fact for you. That was the original name of the show. Was just Batman the series in the story Bible and stuff.
Whoa.
And then I'm pretty sure that it was only started to be referred to as Batman the Animated Series after people started calling it that. And then they just, okay, I guess that's what it's called.
So it was kind of like a Webster situation where people were like, these are the words. And they're just like, I guess these are the words.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now you know things. Things I know.
God, we're so smart.
There's a couple more little trivs.
Okay.
When Joker says, "Oh, trying to cheat the Joker, are you?" to Mr. Francis, and the tune he makes before closing the Shark Tank are imitations of Curly from the Three Stooges, which he also caught. He previously did the same in Joker's Wild while prepping dynamite.
Yes.
While trying to cheer up Harley Quinn, Joker says she can be his little mermaid. Mark Hamill previously had a small voice role as a sailor in the opening scene of Disney's The Little Mermaid in 1989.
What?
I didn't know that until just now.
I also, I wish he like made a reverse mermaid joke. Because there's the whole, a mermaid is half woman, half fish. And you always assume it's like the top half is a woman, the bottom half is a fish. And he puts a big fish top on her, so she's got the fish top, human legs, and I wish he made some kind of comment about that, but it's okay. It was still funny.
If we're talking about the Joker-Harley relationship being more like what I feel like it's supposed to be in this episode than it has been, it was still a little weird to me. Maybe you might feel this way more than Brian, but that she is glaring at him after he does it, and she's like, "You're a sick man, Mr. J," or something like that. She's openly calling him names and being mean to him in that moment. And I thought if this was any future episode, he would just throw her off a building for saying something like that. So
excuse me, what?
Why he doesn't end up doing that ever? What are you talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, I
Glossing
think that's
over.
true. I never would have thought about it, actually. That's never crossed my mind. But maybe that's a devolution of their relationship. Maybe it was a little more equal when he didn't have complete control over her, per se,
she's
psychologically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought about it.
And then last is that this is the first time she uses puddin', which you also caught. You caught like half the trivs without me having to even read them, man.
They didn't.
You're getting so good at this.
And then I think we cut the one animation error. There's only one animation error that was very minor that I think we noticed, which was the question mark on the newspaper. The first newspaper, it's missing the dot under the question mark. Probably because
fades into the next shot.
And it fades the next shot and the dot is there. Tricky stuff.
I did not catch that. Interesting.
It's very minor.
I did notice that the Joker's picture changes from black and white to color, at least on the old one.
Oh, yeah.
What?
On the newspaper. Yeah. Like it's like the newspaper's black and white, and then when it transitions to Alfred holding it, everything else is still in black and white on the paper, but his profile picture is in color.
Awesome.
I think that's also just like a direct trace of that. There's like that one like character model shot of the Joker going like pointing up for some reason, and I think pretty sure that's just verbatim that image.
I think so. Yeah.
See, isn't it great to talk with someone that knows what the hell I'm talking about?
Yeah, I kind of want to just sit back and watch the magic happen here.
We'll bring Maddie on for Critters, and you won't get any airtime at all.
Sick.
I forgot to mention, I love Alfred's little quips in this episode. He has a very small role, but every line of his is just like a little like sarcastic quip, and I love it.
Yeah. Did you keep up with the Adventures Continue comic that came out last couple of years?
I have not personally read them, but I've tried to like keep up on the basic like storylines and what's going on. I just haven't read them. Yeah.
I'm in our like issue breakdown videos of those. We had our issues with some of the choices that Paul Dini was making 30 years after the show about characters that we like. Okay, this character has always been like this. This is their history, and you know whatever. And then he'll just be like, "Just kidding. I didn't like that what I did, so I'm changing it." And we'll be like, "You can't just do that." Well, you can because you're Paul Dini, but can you not? That was the whole thing. But like. Not like all of that aside, recent stuff aside, like anytime Paul Dini is writing an episode of this show, it's just like, oh, thank God. Like this is such a good written episode, well-written episode. And this was like, I think one like this and Almost Got Him and Heart of Ice are the best examples I think so far of like, a real writer wrote this. Thank you.
That was something that we actually, I don't feel like we've really actually touched on, the three of us, was just like, how good of an episode it was. We've had a couple of bad between last night and this morning. We had a couple of clunkers.
Yeah,
we keep using that word. Yeah, no better way to say it.
It just fits.
Dumb clucks.
Kiss off.
Kiss off. Yep, there it is.
But this was just like, it was a really solid episode. The story like didn't have me guessing like, oh, what? Oh, this big obvious flop happened, and we're just gonna move on from that. Like it was just a really well written episode. There was great art. It was captivating. Like I didn't guess every single thing that was gonna happen. I guessed incorrectly that Bullock was gonna end up laughing.
Right. Yeah. You're like, you can't make Bullock do a laughing fit. It doesn't work with his character. And then Harley Quinn jumps down with the gun. You're like, well, I guess we're doing it. But instead, it was a gun that wraps him up in ribbons or something. So.
Yeah, I thought it was like the red cap in the end of the gun. I thought it was gonna like be a pop gun that has gas come out or something.
It's gonna be the ninja's slow gas gun. Oh no, how do I get away? It's coming right for me.
What would somebody normally do in this instance? Ah!
Was it this episode or the one? There was some episode we watched in this grouping yesterday or today that had Batman jump down. I think it was Off Balance. Batman jumped out of a tree onto a guy. And you said it was a really cool shot of him silhouette jumping down out of a tree, but the guy just stared up at him like the Austin Powers steamroll guy.
Yeah.
Like, no! I can't possibly move! And then Batman lands on him. Yeah.
Batman's half filled with helium. He's got a real slow descent.
I'm sorry.
You can choose to do something about this if you'd like.
Yeah. He's lowering himself on the grappling gun.
But yeah, anyway, it was a great episode.
Yeah. Batman's usefulness. In Laughing Fish.
He was fairly useful, wasn't he?
Yeah. He came up with a cool trick to swap bodies, body swap trick, but then he also wasn't as good as Bullock at finding the Joker.
But he wasn't completely incompetent. Mm-hmm. But do you got any thoughts on Batman's usefulness, Keen?
Batman's usefulness. I think I mean, he had to solve a lot of his plans didn't always work at the beginning. The switching didn't work. He didn't save the 2 bureaucrats, but at the end of the day, he did have the antidote, so that's good.
He did.
Okay, yeah, there's some points there.
He must have gotten that from his satellite balloon floating above the taco barge.
Yeah.
The computer told him what to put in a gun to shoot in someone's arm.
Yeah.
Arm gun juice.
I think I would give him probably like 8 Russian dubbed laughing cats out of 10.
So good.
I'm going to go a little bit lower than that. I'm trying to think of my object or whatever that I'm going to do, unless you already have one.
I've got one. I can go.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was pretty useful. Like, he made some stuff happen. He had some flubs. I think I'm going to give him 6.4. Sharks crashing through plate glass, like, again, like high PSI, resistant, whatever.
It was load-bearing glass.
Load-bearing glass, breaking through a wall, and then somehow surviving by landing in the ocean.
Out of
10.
I was worried that you were about to steal mine because I thought of it right before you started saying yours, and that I'm going to give Batman 7 rocket-propelled swordfish out of 10.
Nice.
Good.
Nice. Well done. Well done, everyone.
We changed light wraps to cool effects, spelled KEWLF-ECKS.
So you're really going to tell me that you're going to spell cool with a K, but you're not going to use keen.
Keen effects. We can do that special for this one episode because you're here.
Okay.
So keen effects it is.
Keen effects in this episode.
Well, we talked about the guy whizzing behind the Batmobile.
Yes, we did.
There's a lot of good effects. There were a lot of there were a lot of keen effects.
This might have been the first. I mentioned it earlier, but this might have been the first 3D animation of an environment, like hand drawn frame by frame. The room, like the camera POV of the swordfish flying through the wall.
Oh.
And when it's headed toward G. Carl Francis, is like the background is moving in 3D space. No, I'm wrong about that.
The circle one.
The circle one.
The one with like the carrot turning and the
Oh yeah, well I guess that kind of counts. But I was also thinking of the blimp with Man-Bat and Batman flying over the top.
Oh yeah,
it was also a 3D-ish thing. In the greatest episode, number 1 on Leather Wings. What's your on Leather Wings opinion, KeenMachine?
Oh wow, this is really controversial. I know for both of you, but I do like it. I think it's a little overhyped because it's the first episode.
Little. Yes. Okay.
So I think people have a fondness. I think there's a fondness for it because it's the beginning, and I recognize that and I appreciate that. But I think there are better plots.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm good with that.
That's my.
I think I've argued.
But I think it's worth the top 10. I think it's worth being in the top 10 for me.
Out of all 85 episodes of Batman, or just what we've watched so far?
From what we've watched so far, to make it fair for everyone involved.
Good answer. Well, yeah, I mean, I think I've argued several times that my reasoning for it being that high up is mostly art related. So
yeah,
I just like the atmosphere of that episode a lot.
That's
cool. I mean, this one also had really good art, but it felt more like a cartoon. But it was a Joker episode, I guess. So whatever.
And as much as I love a Joker episode, I do appreciate that they didn't start with the Joker for the first episode.
Yes,
I think that was nice.
Yeah.
They went with a totally different thing.
Was the first produced?
On Leather Wings. Joker was Christmas with the Joker is the second produced episode, but still. Whoa, your ceiling's raining nuts. That was a lot. You pick now during the KeenMachine guest special appearance episode.
So rude, squirrels. Anyway, do you have any keen effects thoughts on the art of this
I mentioned I liked all the shadow work. I liked seeing Batman like in shadow and you just see like his eyes glowing like in the aquarium. I think that's cool. I liked the the flashlight in the aquarium as well. I thought
yeah,
the light,
you mentioned like that
really
was a different interpretation of a flashlight than usually it's either like a lens flare at the end of was it the Scarecrow, one of the Scarecrow episodes where Batman's flashlight had like 6 lens flares coming off the front of it, but no beam and no end to the flashlight. It was just like a stick, a very bright stick he's holding. Yeah. And then this one had just a circle of glowing light at the end,
kind of the decapitated beam.
Yeah, and it had no beam, but the end of the beam was on the wall, and then other times there's a full beam. I think it depends on the animation studio.
But yeah, it was really effective. It was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought the disconnected look went well with like it being in the dark, and especially with the turns and everything going on.
Well, yeah, and like in real life, it would do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's more true to life that way.
Yeah.
Hi, Rose.
Well, and I forgot to mention that scene of Batman sneaking in, flashlighting around, and then finding the Joker with the shark was the like, we're releasing the Blu-ray. We're going to use this scene as an example of a side-by-side split screen of the DVD version and the Blu-ray version to show you how much better it looks. And it does look noticeably better, but you can tell that they put like a blur filter on the DVD one to make it even more noticeably worse. Like, come on, you didn't have to do that. People that are going to buy the Blu-ray for the sake of the extra HD-ness of it are not going to be like, it's not that much better. Like, I was definitely going to buy it anyway. But
when you mentioned the blur, I was reminded that there's about a second of footage of the Joker's face.
It's like zooming in on his face, yeah.
And it goes completely out of focus. Like the whole shot goes out of focus and comes back in over about the span of a second.
Yeah, and just like,
I totally missed it, I guess.
It was weird. Because I don't think I've seen that at all during the show, and I don't suppose I understand how they transfer.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I think how they would do a zoom like that would still be frame by frame stop motion, like a motion controlled camera, but they'd still be. It would zoom in a little bit. They'd take another picture to zoom in a little bit to get that effect.
So they forgot to focus.
Yeah, I think as they're zooming, it's going slightly out of focus, but they don't realize it until it's noticeable, and then they go whoops and correct it, and then it's fine. But there's that little blip of like blur. It's okay. Yeah. So that's why a zoom happened. But I'm not Dan Reba. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'll never be Dan Reba.
I was there, but I forgot.
Yeah, and I am Dan Reba, says Keen. So we're all good to go.
Nice. Books or hip-hop,
Books or hip-hop?
Oh. I gotta say, I think it's pretty books for me.
Oh.
Okay.
I was leaning more hip-hop, personally.
Well.
But that's just me. Everyone's entitled to their own book. Library card.
I don't know what I would choose.
You gotta be the tiebreaker. You have no other choice. You're supposed to side with me, Brian.
Yeah, well, you said hip hop, right?
I did say hip hop.
Yeah, definitely books.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Brian's
I've told Brian this. I don't know if I've told you this, James. I do try to work in. Well, you know what they say, it's either books or hip-hop into like as many conversations as I can. just to get the trend going.
Has anybody questioned it? Has anybody picked it up yet?
I haven't had a lot of success with the latter, but people have like reacted and been like, huh? And I'll be like, yeah, like books or hip-hop.
You know, the age-old adage.
Yeah, I guess. And I'm like, yep. So I'm it's slow, it's dripping in, it'll assimilate eventually.
I just hope more than probably anything right now, maybe, that I'm just like walking down the street someday and I hear someone just like,
you'll be actually 80 years old, and so and someone will pass you by and be like, and they'll say something's either books or hip. Hey, it was me, and like, shut up, old man, you don't know what you're talking about.
I invented books or hip hop.
Yeah, right, old codger. Get out of here.
That's actually where my name Keen comes from.
We were going to ask if you wanted to share that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it started way back. Okay, I'm not going to age myself.
80 years ago.
When I was in high school, And I just decided that the word keen was underutilized and the word cool is not as keen as the word keen. And because I think like facial expression wise, like cool, you end on like a down, whereas like the message is supposed to be something positive, whereas keen has like the bright vowel sounds.
Yeah.
That's the nerdy side of it.
I got it.
And yeah, so like, you know, like say cheese, but like, you know, same vowel. Like, so I liked that. And then I think keen has more like vernacular uses. Like it can mean sharp, it can mean positive, it can mean sharp metaphorically. Like it can be like, that's a keen knife. It can be like, that's a keen outfit. Or it can just be like, oh, that's really keen. I like that. So, and I just started using it and I tried to convince other people to use it. And I don't think it worked that much, but it did kind of become part of my brand. And so that's where keen came from.
Was the rhyming with machine just natural from that? Or was that?
Yeah.
Because I only asked that because when I was like, oh, I wonder if KeenMachine has Twitter. And there's like 1,000 different variations of KeenMachine series of numbers. And I'm like, what, is this a thing? And then when I Google KeenMachine, what was the game that
Dota 2.
Yeah, it was the only thing that came up. And I'm like,
yeah,
what is it then?
After. Yeah, I was trying to come up with like a handle, basically, and keen is too short, obviously. So I was like, well, it's got to rhyme because obviously.
Well, you're part hard.
And then I just settled on, that's what I settled on. Yeah.
You're part hard so it works out, I am more keen or more machine than keen.
Yep.
First, Brian.
Yes.
Do you put this on your top 10? You got to take a look at your top 10. Your number 10 is what?
Perchance to Dream.
Do you consider this better?
This is getting tough. Because for me, it's not top 5. It's probably not top 6. I love Beware the Grey Ghost. Nothing to Fear was awesome. Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. Like that's where I'm like, okay, this could be better than Strange Secret of Bruce Wayne. Do I want to kick off Perchance to Dream?
I don't know. That's your prerogative.
Can I think on this for a minute?
Yeah. What's mine? Let's see. My bottom, my number 10 is I Am the Night. Again, tough.
That's a good one.
Well, I know it's
Well, you're thinking, I'll go first. It's going to go on my top 10. As my only one.
Now, would you like to pull a Dylan Pollock and make it your number 11, or?
Oh, yeah, that's true. I could make it my number 11, like Dylan.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
That's true. Any number.
Oh, you're already on it.
Well, for my personal bracket of 1 out of 1, it is my number 1.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Sick.
Top of the list. Where's the clip?
Yeah, it's doing an applause sound that you can't hear. Oh, I accidentally wrote KeenMachine 1. KeenMachine. No, this is actually called The Laughing Fish, in fact. Just a really long shot of the fish sign, and then KeenMachine comes in, and then hold on that for forever. Okay. I honestly, I do really like this episode. I think it's really well written. I don't think it's going to bump past I Am the Night for me. I'm sorry, Keen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
But it got close for both of us, I think. I think we were both pretty like questioning it.
Dramatically makes eye contact with Brian.
Yeah.
I'm really questioning it.
Well, what is it? Perchance to Dream or Dreams in Darkness is your bottom one?
Perchance to Dream.
Do you remember
is
the
my 10.
difference between the two?
It's Dreamscape, actually.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Dreams in Darkness isn't on my list.
Oh, okay. Well, but can you still tell me what the difference is?
No.
Perchance to Dream.
I mean, I don't remember Dreams in Darkness.
Oh, Dreams in Darkness was the Scarecrow. He's in a straitjacket. Batman's in a straitjacket, and he's stuck in Arkham, and he sees visions of his parents and stuff. Yeah,
that was a pretty good.
But you bumped it up. But Perchance to Dream was the I'm stuck in a Mad Hatter scenario, hallucination. Yeah. Where I've never been Batman.
I don't. It's like 10.2, I think. Like it's so close, but I don't think I can. Wait, what did you change my name to, bitch?
when we were yeah, right now it says Jamrick and bitch for the I think I changed that when you and I were writing, because it just says Jimmy Y at the top in all red.
Okay.
When we were writing Google Docs.
We had our Google Doc
Can
argument.
you rotate the laptop back so I'm not chopped? I'm not Two-Face to Keen? Oh, okay. I only have half of it. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Whoops.
Much better.
Books.
What are you doing?
Knocking my lid clean off the bottle somehow.
Was books your expletive? Books. I came up with that. I invented books as a swear word.
And I'm curious. So many people I keep hearing have this whole, it was on this like VHS collection that I'd watch again and again and again. How did you, Keen, how did you come up with this VHS? Was this just always around, or was it like, how was your introduction?
I don't have like a memory of getting them. I just I don't remember. I think either my parents bought them or I was given them like as a gift, like when I was really young. I don't remember, but I had a couple of them because they used to have all these, and James probably knows exactly what I'm talking about, but they were VHS and it was always like featuring one specific character. So they had like the Joker one, which was Christmas with the Joker and the Laughing Fish, and it'd always be 2 episodes. And I had like that one and the Robin one, and the Penguin and the Riddler one, which had the one you've seen, If You're So Smart, Why Aren't You Rich? And then thankfully not What is Reality? It's a different one. Much better. But yeah, so they just had those. They had really cool artwork on the VHS sleeve.
I think it's Ty Templeton that did that art.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Sure. Okay. Yeah, because I follow him on Instagram, and or I think I do. If not, I should look that up. But I think I do. Keen. Covering my bases, I definitely do. But yeah, like the artwork's really cool on those, and they were just like, I don't know, they felt very sacred at the time.
Right now,
I watched them endlessly.
I have almost all of them. As a kid, I only had the Poison Ivy and Robin ones, and I would just loop those forever. But now I have I'm like, at this point, I think I'm only missing 2 of them. And so I'm just like, well, I have to, even though I'm never going to actually stick them in the VCR, I just want them for the collector's sake. The Robin,
I don't even know how many they made. I don't know all the ones they made.
There's Robin, Poison Ivy, Riddler, Joker, Penguin, Fire and Ice, which is Mr. Freeze and someone we haven't gotten to yet. And then there's 2 different Batman ones. One that's just called Batman and one that's called like The Dark Knight or something like that, and it's like a bright, vibrant red cover that barely looks like the rest of them. And it I think it was only released in Canada or something like that, where the rest of them are in those like normal cardboard VHS sleeves, but this one's in like a clamshell case.
Interesting. Okay.
But otherwise, it has all the same branding. It has that same picture of Batman and Robin standing at the back computer looking at the information on the back of the case and stuff like that. So I don't know why this one's so different, but I have almost all of them. And of course, most of them have been like, I'll have bought them brand new or barely used or something. But the Robin and Ivy ones that I had as a kid, the cardboard's just flaking off and peeling and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So overused. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool. Okay, I never knew how many they made. I just knew the ones that I had as a kid, and I just
they're treasures.
Watched them, endless amount of times.
Do you still have them?
I think I do. I think they're in storage. I'd have to go look because I haven't I never got rid of any of my Batman stuff. Like I was a big like Kenner collector back in the day, and all of that. So I had a lot of those, and I've kept them all. So I'm sure they're there somewhere. I just have to go find them.
We should have brought up all of that an hour ago, but I think the listener knows who you are, so should have been like, who is this KeenMachine person? Why are they important to the podcast?
We'll just do a super, just smooth, natural sounding cut of this whole segment and just put it at the beginning.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
We will do that, huh, Brian?
Yeah, we'll do it.
We the Jamesoner.
Ooh.
That's my Terminator name.
The Jamesoner?
No.
Yeah. We're making
That's something.
canon.
That's what I would call myself in like 3rd grade or something.
The Jamesoner?
No, I'm just saying if I was ever, that's the time period it seems like.
It sounds like you do that now.
I call myself that all the time.
Yeah.
Up in here. Yeah.
Up in
the
Yeah,
brain.
the voice in your head.
Yeah. Yeah, you go get him, James and her. Okay, now everyone's going to do like, greetings, brother Broderick and James and her. And they're like, oh, man. That's your next voice message. I've already predicted it.
It's a safe prediction.
Are you gonna write when this episode lands or before it lands? Are you gonna write in or send a voice message?
Oh, I think I have to. Yeah.
You should almost
Yeah.
Whatever you have on
you
the
should think of an
podcast.
answer to the question now.
Yeah.
And answer it now, and then when we record the mail segment later, you could ask yourself in the future of this question to the past. This is some really thick timeline
Don't do
stuff.
this. I don't
Oh,
want to
wow.
edit
Okay.
things.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying that it would be in the normal mail segment, and then after the mail segment,
Come up
Keen
with
can
an answer to Dylan Pollock's question of the week that you don't know what it is yet.
That could be fun too.
Yeah.
It's basically what you have me do at the end of every episode.
I mean, my answer to Dylan Pollock's question is I think I'd have to go with the brown leaf answer, but I'm also really fond of London. So that's my answer to Dylan.
I really hope.
my God.
So yeah, Dylan won't be able to hear this before. No, yeah, you're safe. You're good. Okay.
I feel like we should just tell Dylan now to come up with a question that'll fit that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
What's your
God.
favorite?
But you wanted
food
me to come up with an answer for a question that
you're
I
gonna
asked?
ask? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I very much appreciate that you think that I think this far ahead, that I'm this organized. Okay, my answer will be a moment of pause for dramatic effect. Definitely not stalling.
I'm playing the Hey Arnold theme. But
All right. Okay, good. Yeah. I don't know why I'm blanking. I'm totally blanking on a question.
You can take some time because I guess
Yeah.
it would be that you would be answering after the mail segment, which we haven't gotten
That's
to
true.
anyway.
Okay.
So
That's true.
And
Okay.
you got time.
At this time, we are going to go to the future, to future James and Brian,
What?
but not future Keen. Wait,
What?
yes, future KeenMachine.
Yeah.
And they're going to ask a question of themselves in the that they're going to answer after the mail segment. And here's the future. So Kimmy wrote us a new song, right? You're going to play it right now.
Kimmy did write us a new song.
Did you hear it already?
Kimmy is questioning one line of the new song.
Oh,
So she's going to
okay.
workshop it for another week, but I predict that we will have it next week.
Well, don't say that. Never promise the people an exact time. You just say soon.
Next Wednesday.
That's what no. Next Wednesday.
doesn't
Everyone will hear
matter.
it 2 days before the podcast.
It doesn't matter that I'm going out of state for 3 days.
No.
She will have it in 1 week.
What are you doing out of state for 3 days or whatever?
Camping.
You just said? Oh.
Yeah. It's going to be like 106 degrees. And I'm just going to talk over the mail time theme song because it's not important. It's the last time the listeners are going to hear it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to talk over it.
At one small
Get it, Jamie.
extra yacht, put it over.
Here's the mail. It never. I was trying to keep a straight face. I can never do it. Just staring at you. Hit it, Jamie. Oh, you kids aren't ready for that. Yeah. Play the mail time. Just Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future playing that exact recording, the mail time and Horton Hears a Who clip combined into a really like brain melting medley, and then the whole audience is dead silent. Oh, I guess you kids aren't ready for that, or I guess you're not ready for that yet, but your kids will be. Your kids will love it. I don't know the fucking line, bro.
Was that the second one?
That's the first one.
Was that the first one? I can't
He
keep them
goes
straight.
back to that place in the second one and sees himself doing that.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
so it is the second one.
It's both.
It's the third one when he plays the Yoppie Mail theme song.
It's the third one when he's like, in the Old West playing the Yoppie Mail song. We got some mail, okay?
Oh, cool. Give me some mail.
These are emails. We don't have Keen with us for the mail section, if you haven't figured that out for the last 2.5 minutes. But
Wait, you don't have Keen with you?
You have Keen there with you in your house?
Yeah, he's right. Oh, well, actually, he left. He was just there.
Oh.
He was in this chair, and now he's over. I don't know. He went somewhere else.
I believe you, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I saw him.
Oh, he's outside. He's on his phone for some reason.
I can see him waving. Yeah, there at the window. Yeah, he's keeping it keen.
He's so keen.
It's so keen that he's sweating. It's so hot. It's been so hot.
Yes.
Why is it so hot?
Global warming, climate change. I don't know.
Scotty Cameron, by a comment's been pretty funny. Brian says Snake Eyes. Dylan and Maddie are released from the brainwave scanner. I'm dyslexic today. Riddler. You Yoppie dudes cheated again. You must have Googled G.I. Joe and saw that the most recent installment in the film franchise was a Snake Eyes spin-off. Yeah, that's the only explanation. Batman and Snake Eyes smash into the Riddler's hideout and take him out and deduce that Destro loaned Riddler the brainwave scanner he trapped Dylan and Maddie in. I like this side lore that I'm never involved in. I just get to kind of witness it.
This is it's kind of like, it reminds me of a Choose Your Own Adventure, like the way it's like the way it's explained.
If you say Yoppie Foods, turn to page 47.
Yeah, it's like Maddie is released, or Maddie and Dylan are released.
You all die. The end. Try again. Hey, Yoppie dudes, what is reality? Boy, what an absurd episode. Don't worry, Jamie. I was lost during that car sequence, too. That was so all over the place. I did like the sequence where Riddler and Batman replicate themselves. Once Batman is in virtual reality, the ACOMness can be a benefit because the bad animation can be seen as glitches in the virtual reality, like it was made by LJN or EA. Yeah, I don't think so, but it's not a bad way to look at it. It's funny that Cobra was what Brian remembered from G.I. Joe because prior to seeing the G.I. Joe movies, Cobra
there were
was the
G.I. Joe movies?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I know. It's
really?
like saying, what's a good equivalent to this?
Battleship.
Yeah,
Battleship the
sure.
movie.
Yeah, Battleship, the movie.
Anyway,
I
don't know what you're trying to say.
The only thing I remembered was G.I. Joe Sigma 6, which I watched on Saturdays after The Batman. The films helped me remember the characters' names, led me to start reading G.I. Joe comics. That's cool.
Oh,
As
sweet.
for the Laughing Fish, I saw this on the Kids WB website back when they had full episodes of cartoons on their website. I'll definitely work on shortening the emails from here on out. In the meantime, stay Yoppie.
Okay.
You're welcome. Look at this, Brian. I got a new cord that's not a cord with a dongle on the end of it. It's just a whole-ass cord.
Wow,
cord
that's
for your ass.
That's an ass cord. Great.
I just plug it right in, and I haven't tried it yet, so we'll find out. This is
boy.
Contemplations of the Week on the Laughing Fish from Tip Tapricot. So excited for another guest episode, and with one of my favorite listeners, too.
Aww.
Here are some of my thoughts, said at rapid speed to get them all in, so excuse any weird fumbles.
Hello, James, KeenMachine, and Babus brother Broderickles. Since you haven't been called something fun in a while, I have a lot of thoughts about this week's episode, so we're going to go pretty fast. Overall, The Laughing Fish felt very cinematic and was such an interesting and tight episode for the short runtime. Didn't feel too rushed or too drawn out, and just felt very tense and well balanced the whole time. I liked when Batman hit the TV off, and it was such a hard, interesting cut between scenes. The laughing gas was really disturbing in the way that it morphed people's faces, which is something that we'll see more of, but was really fun to see in this episode. The music was very Justice League-like, which, Brian, I know you don't have a lot to compare to, but just know. Also, Mark Hamill had some amazing Joker laughs in this episode. Really well done. The blurred background and focus shifts were really interesting and made it feel like a real camera. There was also evil shark propaganda, where, like, sharks are actually pretty nice, but they were evil in this. But Batman riding a shark was baller. Bullock's scared voice acting when he was trapped beneath the glass was really good and realistic, so, like, kudos to him. And Batman's cape animation in the wind and the buffeting on Joker's suit in the end as he fell was so well done. Overall, keep it Yoppie.
Yeah, I think half that stuff they mentioned I noticed during the episode, and then I failed to mention at all when we talked about it.
I mean, yeah, it's stuff like that it's really cool to have this input from the listener as well to just like have that regard. And of course, it's been a little while ago, so I don't remember the instances exactly. At least a little while ago for the this me, not the me that was just before and will be again.
The current future past. Yeah.
But it's so cool to have people that like, you know, I didn't really think too much about the music until like Jordan Blumen came in and was like, yeah, this thing. And it's like, now I find myself like really like paying attention to that as well. And so it's cool. It's cool to be like, yeah, check out the clothing and like what happens with the cape. And like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
that whole ending fight with Joker and Batman, Joker's suit looks like perfectly like volumetric. What am I trying to say? Where there's like his shoulder pads are like the correct poofiness, like the whole fight. I don't know how to describe it, but I know what they mean. I get it. This is from KeenMachines. I guess he was outside your window a second ago, went home, recorded this, sent it in. Is that about what he told you he was doing?
I mean, could just be you're just sending it from there. I mean,
oh yeah. You know. So if there's, I mean, he's probably looking at you while saying, "Your Yoppie podcasting will return after a word from this week's sponsor."
They're punny and funny, they're heard but not seen. Brian and James and a KeenMachine.
Say, dear listener, are you wondering what you can take away from this week's special episode?
I wonder what I can take away from this week's special episode.
Introducing the word keen. It's bright, it's fun, and it forms a natural smile on your face.
Oh my God.
Say it.
I'm not really sure this is my... Wow, that's so keen.
That's right, friends. See, Dylan sounds happier already.
I hate this.
Will you remember to use keen on a regular basis from now on? Your vocabulary and your favorite guest hosts will thank you. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Not yet. You didn't think I would actually end my voice message without using my famous and frankly fabulous catchphrase, now did you? But first, a question for all three of our co-hosts this week. Would you take home a Joker fish from the Sea Aquarium and keep it as a pet? And now with that question to linger in the air, I say thank you again to both James and Brother Brick for having me on the podcast. It was a wonderful time. If you'd like to hear more keen thoughts on this podcast, reach out to your local Yoppie representative and let them know. Until next time, keep it keen.
The production value. Oh my God.
That was more amazing than anything we've ever done.
I love Dylan's guest appearance on the guest appearance mail time. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Well, to answer the question, like, is it a live Joker fish?
I assume so. Yeah.
I'd take home a live Joker fish. Would you?
There wasn't any hint that they were like contagious or anything in the episode. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, I think if as someone with a Joker fish, you'd just walk in their house and be like, "Oh, that has teeth. The fish has teeth there," and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I got this from the Sea Aquarium in Batman the Animated Series." They'd know what you're talking about. They get it.
I don't think they would run away screaming at all.
No. This is these are voice messages. Thank you, Keen. That was ridiculously good voice message. You have to up the ante every time. You're stuck in the Yoppie Mail singing curse that I am in, where now your voice messages have to be
better
10 times. Yeah, they have to
each time more extravagant.
And now, it's funnily enough, this is from Dylan Pollock. A fish in every pot and a Batmobile in every cave.
It's time for the Thoughts of the Week from Dylan Pollock on the laughing fish, or the one where Penguin eats poison ivy, because even though heroes don't do that, penguins do. Hey there, James and Brother Bay and KeenMachine. I can't say I'm not jealous, but I'll get over it. I should have trademarked being the third host the way Joker trademarks those fish. Not a threat, just a fact. Okay, so Batman is such a messy bitch in this episode who's living for drama because Bullock's like, nobody's getting in here. And Batman goes, "Oh yeah, Bullock, watch this reveal." And he just strips down to his bat costume. Great moment. Also, I have some ideas for other things Joker could have said. You have until midnight, Francis, then you'll be Trout of Luck. Face it, Francis, you're salmon over your head. Francis, the Caper Crusader won't save you this time. And now I gotta be quick. The question of the week, James's favorite part. Would Aquaman have been affected by the fish toxin? And if not, who solves this quicker? Obviously, they both would be quicker than Batman. Aquaman or Superman?
I I guess he would ask the fish, like, hey, what the fuck's going on with your face? And then they'd be like, ha, 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 ha. And then he'd go, oh, shit, I think I know who's behind this.
I think Aquaman would be affected. So he'd be like, hey, fish. And he'd just get a huge, toothy smile.
Grinning, yeah.
He'd get some massive dentures, and then Superman would be like, hey, Aquaman, never mind. And then he'd go solve it.
Yeah, why would Batman would be hey Aquaman, why are you in the polluted Gotham River or whatever? Why are you here? It seems a little off course of your normal destination.
Oh, where's he normally?
We go to the Watchtower database, not Brian, and watch our Vanishing Point episode on where is Atlantis is located. Then you'll know. Where Aquaman usually... Actually, it's not that far from Gotham City, probably. I don't know.
No. Sweet.
Oh. Yeah. This is from Scarface Nate.
Hey.
Hello, James and Brick.
Hello again.
It looks like we finally reached the end of ACOM. So let's put our constantly disappearing out of frame hats, put them into our weirdly shaped heads, and ride our Joker and ourselves into the sunset, and move on to one of my favorite Joker episodes, The Laughing Fish. It has a lot of hilarious moments, both ironically and unironically. This is the episode with the weird Russian cat dub. I don't care if it's real or not, looks hilarious to me. Also, what's with that swordfish shot? It looked so weird, like it's slow-mo, but it's fast. I have no idea what they were going for. To answer the question, the game I played the most besides the Diablo games with my father when I was little is Far Cry Primal, the Lego Jurassic World game, and any of the card games, because I played those a lot with my Xbox when I was younger. So yeah, I'm a questionable gamer. Any other knowledge would have to be from bigger YouTubers playing the games. So, yeah. Stay yoppy.
I will. Thank you.
Sweet. I can stay yoppy.
I can always yop, if given the opportunity.
Yop till you drop.
Opportunity. Jordan Bloom and GCN Musical Minute.
It's Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. My voice still doesn't sound quite right post-COVID, but don't worry, I'm in speech therapy. Tonight's top story. The Joker poisons the fish of Gotham to look like him, but it's not dangerous to us, it's just gross. And this is worse than the time that he poisoned all of the cosmetics to make news anchors like me look terrible. Also, there's now a shark loose in Gotham Harbor, so I guess look out for that on top of everything else going on.
Aquaman will stop it.
In terms of the music, the only thing I really noticed in particular was some John Williams-y Jaws-isms in the music during the obvious shark scenes.
I noticed that too.
Two notes alternating back and forth. Felt very Jaws-like to me, some of the expressive flute motifs and such. Yeah, that's all.
Brian, what are you doing?
Watering that plant.
Is that a euphemism? You were so excited by the musical minute, you had to water your plant.
I was contemplating the Jaws theme song, and I saw a dry plant, and I said, whoops.
Comments on the last episode. What is reality or by a comment's been pretty funny. Super Luigi 64, Bebe and JJ. It sounds to me like you're desperately overdue to rewatch Batman Forever. Honestly, my favorite of the live-action Bat films, to be re-exposed to the greatness of Jim Carrey's Riddler. There's actually a few parallels between the BTAS and Forever Riddlers that I won't spoil here. Love the twist of having him be obsessed with Bruce instead of Batman. Also, rest in peace, David Warner. Yes, so the guy that voices Ra's al Ghul died like 3 days ago.
Oh, shoot.
We just got introduced to him a couple episodes ago, and he's dead. Well, I guess we don't get any more Ra's al Ghul. We just have to skip those episodes now. We also have to skip every episode with Mr. Freeze and Commissioner Gordon and Alfred and anyone else that's dead.
Wow, so this is going to get a lot quicker.
Yeah. Well, it might be a good idea.
Hop off the Bat-Wagon or whatever is going to come up really quickly then.
Yeah, you better get prepped. You have 2 podcasts to get ready for.
Yes.
Including the one that you're supposed to start about your second place stuff.
Isn't that ironic?
Banana Man says, okay.
Okay.
Okay, Scarlowy 1. Sup, Bay and Jay. July 30th will be the 1-year anniversary of Yoppie Dudes. Oh, that's in 3 days from now. 1 day from podcast time will be. I just wanted to say thank you for such a Yoppie year.
Oh, my
You're
gosh.
welcome.
Thanks for checking in on that. That's crazy. And yeah, we're going to have to pop some champagne, Jamie.
That's a interesting. Well, no, we're probably supposed to pop the champagne when the air date and production order numbers line up.
We're gonna have to pop some
apple juice.
That's supposed to be an air horn again.
Brian Ford, James, I feel you about trombone playing. I like to consider myself a pretty darn good tromboner. Hell, it got me through college, and I'm just starting a high school band director job. Oh,
nice.
Cool. But I can't solo to save my life. I can play things from memory, so if you want Chameleon by Herbie Hancock or Hey, baby, I got you, but I'm so bad at playing off the top of my head. Yeah, that's the same.
Brian Ford? Did I get that right?
Yes.
The first name.
Spelled correctly also, Brian, yeah.
Thank God. Brian, I'd like to, if you want to learn a thing and solo it, it'd be really cool to hear Giant Steps by John Coltrane on the trombone.
Are you asking him, not me, who you know and plays trombone?
There's a reason for that.
Because I'll say no.
Actually, yeah.
Cole Papadakis. Just you wait, Brian. It might take a while to get to the next Riddler, but the next Riddler episode is great. The virtual world in this episode reminds me of the one the Dean went to in Community, or the 3D world from the Simpson Treehouse of Horror episode. Yeah, I can see that. The 3D Homer. They should have made everyone a really terrible early 90s CGI.
Yeah. Also, props for Community references, because that show is just insanely good.
Goose. Say this in your worst evil German doctor impression. Okay. Hello, Yoppie Brian and Dude James. I finally caught up. Only took a whole month, but I've done it. And I've got to say, it's invigorating.
This is somehow British-Irish, but keep going.
I feel as I've stared into the sun, and I haven't been blinded. Like I've jumped headfirst into a frozen lake and forced the ice to boil. Like I've bitten off the head of a lion. I have achieved the impossible. I am a god. I rate this podcast 6 computer lobotomies out of 10, solely for the unique and creative visuals, even if they didn't look that great. Thank you. Don't make why you have to make me say stuff all the time.
Because you're on a podcast.
I guess so.
That's my
what
guess.
Happens. KM, don't worry, James. I'm sure this podcast eventually will stop being a Bash the Animated Series podcast and become a Bash Superman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond and Justice League and Static Shock and Justice League Unlimited podcast. But I'm sure of one thing: it will never be a Bash the Zeta Project podcast. All jokes aside.
Wait, what's the Zeta Project?
Oh, I don't know, actually. All jokes aside, I'm currently watching Season 1 of Justice League. It has some really great plot device / that's not how that works moments. If it's like that all the way, then I'm sure the podcast will be Bash Justice League podcast at some point. Laughing Fish is probably my favorite Joker episode. Joker has some really funny moments, funny jokes here and there. But when he wants to be, he is really scary. Most Joker iterations focus too much on the one side, but this episode balances both perfectly. I think he kills people for the first time on this show. Joker gas visuals of this episode are pretty disturbing, and I notice Joker seemingly dies every other episode to come back without any explanation.
What? I love dies in air quotes.
Yeah, when he drops into the shark or whatever.
Yeah.
I love the idea of fishes aren't being poisonous. Joker's plan isn't mass murder or something like that. He just wants to trademark his fishes. If I had a nickel for every time Batman fought a shark outside of comics, I'd have 4 nickels. MJ Barrett
this is becoming a trope in our amongst our listeners.
But it's funny that it's happened more than snaps for that delivery driver, says MJ Barrett, the person who delivered the giant game. They were probably having a bad day, and when not looking too close, I did enjoy the visuals of the virtual reality part of the episode. If you're squinting, if you're not actually paying attention. Serum Lake. I have one of the original production drawings from this episode, from the scene where the Riddler explains the Commissioner Gordon will feel a lot of pain from the sudden stop in VR. It has some notes written on it asking the animators to make sure you can see Gordon's skin rippling and his hair waving from the force of the motion. They must have been so disappointed when they got the animation back.
Oh. Holy hell.
Yeah, thanks, ACOM, they said, as they fired ACOM. That does remind me, though, Serum Lake is one of our patrons as
Yay.
well. They tagged us in a tweet, as the kids say. It's a passage from this book, The Art and Making of the Animated Series of X-Men, the animated series.
Ooh.
It says, I'm reading a book about the making of X-Men, the animated series. I felt compelled to share this segment with you. Oh, ACOM. And it's here's the segment from the book. Finally, after those 4 grueling attempts at re-recording the pilot script over 2 days, the right tone was achieved. The new cast and their new attitude sounded great. The first storyboard was finished, and it looked spectacular. Over the next 3 months, 8 of the 13 scripts were finalized, 6 voice tracks were recorded, and half the storyboards were drawn. The relentless pace of an episode a week schedule was straining but holding. Finally, in late July, more than 5 months after X-Men the Animated Series started, just after the last script had been turned in, the first animated footage came back from ACOM, the animation production house in South Korea. With the tight scripts, masterful storyboards, and heartfelt recordings, expectations were high. But the animated footage was awful. It felt like 5 months' hard work had been for nothing. Margaret Loesch and Fox wouldn't accept it. The animation studio had to fix their work or the series wouldn't air. The animation studio swore they needed more time and money. This was by far the most demanding series they'd ever been asked to do. And so Margaret, at a great price, got the Fox network to take the huge risk of putting off the series premiere for 4 months, from September 1992 to January 1993, to give the animators time to get things right. And Marvel Comics, to their everlasting credit, stepped up with some of the needed extra cash, contributing their licensing fee to help pay to get the footage redone when no one else would. So X-Men dealing with the same plights as Batman.
I didn't realize that X-Men also was animated by ACOM.
I guess so, yeah.
We're going to have to find those. Maybe that's like a bonus episode. You need to find those episodes and watch them.
Find if they even exist. If
the devastating return of ACOM.
Batman Beyond, Return of ACOM. Batgirl, Fangirl, I love The Laughing Fish, my favorite Joker episode. It's so clever, dark, and twisted. Can't wait to hear Brian's reaction to it being good or bad. And KeenMachine. I would presume that Batman had a disguise of bureaucrat Thomas Jackson all ready to go hanging in the Batcave just in case of this eventuality. Although it was a cool bit and well animated, why did Batman open the hood of the Batmobile as it was racing forward towards the aquarium, stand up, and grapple to the rooftop? He could have just pulled up and done the same thing.
Fair point.
I can't wait for Batman's usefulness. He didn't save either bureaucrat from getting Jokerized, screwed up saving Bullock, and let the Joker get away. I suppose he saved the cat. I love how the episode was referenced in other Batman media, such as 3 Jokers in Arkham City. Brilliant episode, guys. 5 stars and 5 giant binary gas-spewing rocket-powered swordfishes. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
hi,
you.
Munchie.
Lano Lacola, cue hallelujah for the last ACOM episode.
Oh,
Wency 209. Well, everyone, this is it. This is the final ACOM episode. It's been a pretty yappy time, my dudes. ACOM's shitty animation will truly be missed. I'll also make sure to stay tuned for The Laughing Fish, a.k.a. BTAS exposes everything wrong with copyright law. And finally, of course, we have Mark Aquino. It's Friday, and you know what that means. Give me an F, give me an I, give me an R, give me an S, give me a T. What's that spell?
Oh,
sorry. Let me repeat it.
Yeah.
Give me. It's F and then I. R S T.
Fierce.
Fierced of clay.
Yes.
I told you it's getting tougher to think of clever ways to say first. Okay.
Oh, first.
Well. Give my love to brother Brian Brick Broderick Bragadocio. That's it. That's the mail. Thank you for the mail.
Oh
everybody.
My gosh. That was great.
I liked it.
Yeah. Me too.
Nice. All right. Let me just redo the.
Wow.
The future is over.
The future was so bright and shiny.
That was so cool.
And things were definitely better than they are now, right?
That seems to be how the future is going. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least we in the past can just hope.
And now this is the end of the episode. And KeenMachine's answer to his own question was...
Yes, I certainly would.
Okay. Good.
Wow, that was slick. Can we get some final thoughts from Keen?
Final thoughts from Keen.
Oh, final thoughts from Keen.
On the episode, on this experience, on life as a whole.
I had a wonderful time. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun. To see you guys like live and actually like see you. Like, there are people behind these voices. So this was really fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you, dear listener, as always, and of course, keep it keen.
Yeah. Pretend that sound happened. It didn't really. But, we can all imagine. I'll just edit it in later, right, Brian?
Yeah,
I just edit stuff in.
We'll just edit it. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll do that. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2, you can email us at, what is it, Keen? What's the email address? You do it.
Podcast@watchtowerdatabase.com.
There you go.
Or I literally don't have that memorized.
I had to question it. I was like, wait, what do I click?
What do I type in? I just type P and it knows.
True.
Or anchor.fm/Bat-Wagon. Please subscribe to the Podtower YouTube channel. This is where all the episodes come out every Friday, and also your favorite podcast feed, whatever that happens to be.
I'm changing.
You're not. It's not Stitcher.
Well, since I got a new phone, I've only switched over like half the apps, and half the reason, I swear, for getting a new
Or what kind of new phone is your phone?
I mean, it's still an Android because I hate you.
Yeah, I get it.
But my old phone just literally couldn't play Spotify.
Oh.
And so, it was time, and now I'm just like, well, I'm on Spotify all the time listening to music. I might as well like track down all my favorite podcasts on Spotify. I'm sorry, Stitcher.
I did all the trouble of getting it on Stitcher for you, and now you won't even listen.
I think Kimmy listens on Stitcher still.
Who cares about Kimmy? I care, Kimmy. Don't worry. And the next episode.
Oh yes,
is called Harley and Ivy. What do you think it's about?
Ooh.
So the thing that Elora spoiled last night.
Yeah.
Is that what it's about?
Not precisely, but
okay.
What say it? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I just guessed that it's Batman's origin story.
There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the relationship between Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. Have they been in the same room together so far on the show?
Were they? Yeah, they were in.
They were both in Almost Got Him, but they were not. They did not share the screen.
They weren't at the table together?
No, Harley Quinn wasn't at the table. She was just at the Catwoman Fancy Foods whatever place waiting for Batman to come in and rescue Catwoman.
Oh my god. Wow, they haven't been in the same room, but they've been on the same episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's some bullock.
That's some Anyway, thank you for being here, KeenMachine. Whatever your real name is, we'll never know.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It is fun to have listeners and a Dylan Pollock sock puppet account such as yourself coming on the show is always grand. And I do look forward to. I was very happy to see that the Brian and me in person session was going to include your requested episode.
Yeah.
So I didn't tell Brian until last night. We had been talking for a day or two about this already, and then I told Brian like, "Oh, by the way, KeenMachine's coming on tour." I was like, "What? Yes!" So yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully we'll have you on, Dylan back. All these people that classic listeners joining back again for more. What?
What
does that mean? What are you laughing at me? Don't laugh at me.
Oh, sorry. Whoops.
All right.
Love you, Jimmy.
I love me too. And I love KeenMachine. Thank you for being here.
Thanks again.
I don't know if we're going to actually hang up on you or just stop recording.
That's for the special guest to know and the listener
to never know. Only know if they're on the show.
So thank you, listener, for listening. We appreciate you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, nut ceiling.
Poor pudding.
Come on, he was a demented, abusive, psychotic maniac.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss him.
Do you think he's gone for good?
Believe me, Jim, I wish it were true. But deep inside, I doubt it.